Fala, pessoal! Tudo bom com vocês? Sejam bem-vindos a um SouJava Live, mais uma live com o Kyo aí já iniciando a nossa live aí, dando o seu kickstart, não é, o Hugo? Aí sim, ó. Muito legal.
Olá!
Então nós estamos aqui, eu, Max, o nosso amigo aqui, o nosso mais líder aqui, o Luiz, e o Hugo, para trazer uma pessoa bem bacana, para trazer um conteúdo bem legal para nós aqui e aumentar cada vez mais aí a nossa régua, não é, Luiz?
Exatamente. Sempre trazendo pessoas muito interessantes.
Tava sentindo saudade aqui de voltar. Tô começando aqui, daqui a pouquinho eu cresço e ele começa a dar palestra também.
Isso.
Legal.
A gente
tá de ouvinte.
Já vamos ajeitando. Os meus dois aqui também, eu estou tentando ver se eu consigo trazer eles aí para o mundo do Java. Não quero traumatizá-los, não, estou brincando. É brincadeira, é brincadeira. Mas vai ser bem legal. Então, hoje nós vamos ter um convidado muito legal aqui, né, Luiz? Me fala um pouquinho mais sobre esse convidado aí, que foi um cara que você trouxe, está trazendo aqui para gente. E as suas considerações. Vamos lá?
Vamos lá. Então, mês passado eu estive nos Estados Unidos, né? Fui no DevNexus, um dos maiores eventos de Java lá nos Estados Unidos, né, em Atlanta. E eu conheci o Hector Ventura lá. E tive um bate-papo muito bacana com ele e falei, poxa, eu precisava trazer esse cara para falar com a gente no SouJava, porque é um profissional super competente, já foi Jug Leader também, e ele tá falando, ele tem um projeto muito bacana, open source, que é o Floss, né, que fala sobre, para você rodar localmente, vários serviços da AWS, então, poxa, ter esse cara aqui com a gente é muito bacana, então, só que, como a gente falou, ele não é do Brasil, então a gente vai trocar aqui essa conversa para inglês. Se você tiver alguma dúvida durante a apresentação, pode mandar no chat em inglês ou português e a gente traduz para ele. E a ideia é que a apresentação dele seja interativa, então conforme vocês vão mandando perguntas do que ele está falando, a gente vai interrompendo, vai perguntando para ele. Certo, Hugo? Certo, Max?
Muito bem. Vamos mudar para o inglês então, ok?
Vamos falar mais um pouquinho dele aqui, porque eu acabei de ver que ele caiu, então enquanto ele volta...
Oh, meu Deus.
Inglês ou em português?
Enquanto isso, quem tá aí no chat acompanhando a gente, já vai mandando um salve, fala de onde que você é. Fala se você esteve no último encontro do SouJava, o Samuel com certeza estava lá, porque ele sempre tá lá com a gente.
É nóis, Samuel.
Ó, vou até colocar aqui, dá para colocar ele vocês na tela, ó que legal. Se tiver pergunta, vai aparecer na tela, ó que legal. Então fiquem à vontade de mandar perguntas aqui, né, enquanto o nosso palestrante não volta aqui, deve estar enfrentando problemas de conexão. Tudo bem, isso acontece, mas a gente pode começar a falar um pouquinho sobre... Até eu ia perguntar, o Luiz, já que você mencionou que você conheceu ele no DevNexus e tal, traz aí mais algumas informações. A gente fez uma puta de uma live legal ali no Meetup do SouJava recentemente, onde vocês trouxeram vários insights sobre como foi o evento e tal. E sobre você tem mais alguma coisa para trazer, que você gostaria de trazer aqui? E o pessoal está aprendendo talvez mais alguma dica de sua aqui. E também trazer. E eu sei também que o Hugo fez uma live muito bacana no Out of the Box Developer, falando sobre Spec Driven Development. Então, assim, vai ser bem legal, sei, até a hora dele voltar, aí a gente pode ir trocando umas ideias aí. O que você acha?
Bacana, acho que o Hugo podia comentar um pouquinho, porque a apresentação dele foi sobre Spec Driven Development.
Você estava lá também,
um
né?
assunto que está muito em alta, sim.
Posso sim, foi terça-feira, né? Foi terça dessa semana. Realmente é um assunto que está em alta. Estou muito envolvido com os projetos aí que envolvem agentes, né? Mas não é só construir a solução, né? A gente também, nosso dia a dia está sendo transformado aí por essas... pelo menos o Coding Agent está ficando extremamente competente, né? Nas tarefas. Mas a gente sempre ouviu, né, aquela questão vibe coding, né, sempre foi uma crítica forte aí para quem é da área, né, quem conhece os desafios aí quando é um projeto que vai para produção, né, que é corporativo, não é tão simples, né, você mandar IA fazer e bota em produção. Então, Spec-Driven Development, ele meio que é uma resposta, um processo um pouco mais, um pouco estruturado para te ajudar aí a usar do poder da IA, mas também mantendo aí também um certo nível de consistência, integridade, que você também consiga manter, eu chamo de accountability, né? Mas é responsabilidade com o que você está entregando, né? Acho que esse é um ponto que realmente é difícil de substituir, né? Nesse mundo aí que a gente está conseguindo automatizar muita coisa, está conseguindo escrever código que como nunca, né? Como ninguém. Mas alguém tem que ser responsável, né? Pelo que vai ser entregue. Então esse é o ponto, foi bem bacana. A gente fiz um exemplozinho prático ali, como fazer o setup e tal, e é isso.
Legal, vi que...
É bacana. Então a gente pode... Vamos marcar uma outra live aqui, eu acho que é bem legal a gente marcar uma outra live, porque tem muita gente falando sobre coisas de usar IA, mas usar IA como conectando com Java. Mas a gente também tem a questão da IA para potencializar o dia a dia. Mas vamos marcar uma nova live, então fica aqui, né, uma proposta para nós aqui criarmos uma nova live aí, talvez, sei lá, semana que vem a gente pode estar falando sobre isso, mas vamos mudar para inglês, porque nosso convidado voltou. Let's switch to English. Our invitee come back and let's bring it to the session.
Yeah, without further ado, Hector Ventura, the stage yours. How are you doing?
Doing good. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. This platform is so amazing. You got a lot of sound effects.
So Hector, I introduced you in Portuguese, but now if you want to reintroduce yourself in English, tell us a little bit about yourself, about your work, and about the topic that we are talking today. Feel free to. Yeah.
Well, I'm Hector Ventura. I'm from Dominican Republic, and when I was there in Dominican, I was part of the Java community as a lead. I'm still part of the Java community in Dominican because all my friends are still there. Living in Texas at the moment. I moved to Texas 6 years ago from Dominican, and in working 100% with Java. Java is my language, right? It's no English ni Spanish. It's Java. So involved with a couple of projects, couple of things, keeping busy. Recently, I released a open source project, Flossy. It's a AWS emulator, local emulator. And the community looks like it's happy. It's showing good results, and the community love it. Yep.
Yeah, about Flossy, congratulations. It's an awesome project. I did a post on LinkedIn about it, and I must say it was maybe the post that I had most comments and most reactions. People are loving the project, so congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, and especially because we see the movement about local stacks, tooling, about those things, and it's good to have an alternative, a good alternative to use when we are working with AWS services and so on. So congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. As you know, localists that move like a license, the open source repo was archived, and a lot of company that was using CI in GitHub Actions, Jenkins, or any other pipeline technology was failing because they just changed to like add a token. So that will go through a proxy, and you need most of the features you need to pay for.
Yeah. And another thing that I think is so amazing about Hector is this t-shirt. Jakarta t-shirt. It's an amazing one, all right? I want one. that thing.
Yeah. This is one of the t-shirts I got on DevNexus on Alana. I have like a 3 of those, so I keep switching those.
Yeah,
Yeah,
amazing.
that's very nice.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead with the presentation because I think Hector has a lot of good lessons to pass to our community. So please share your screen again and let's move ahead to this amazing presentation. All right.
Yeah,
Oh,
and if you are interested in the Flossy project, I put the URL in the chat.
yeah. And also, if you have questions during the session, don't be afraid. Send on the chat. We will try to translate or something like that. Don't care about the Portuguese and English questions. So bring. We will try to translate this. We're not a perfect one, but we are trying to translate it to actor to get the answer. Okay. We cannot say know everything, but we are trying to find someone that knows something. So that's the key. Okay, let's go. Let's go ahead.
Okay. Welcome to this presentation. Don't ask, don't poll, just react to your database with division. I'm Hector Ventura, and we'll present this to you. I know that will be useful. And about me, I'm currently lead software engineer, Consensus Cloud Solution. That's a company on California that provide faxes and documents technologies to companies. Also
Hey,
in Dominican, yeah.
hey, Vector.
Hmm.
Hector, could you zoom on it, please? Because it's so small. Yeah, great. Thanks
Better.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm also co-founder a company in Dominican Republic, Acknowledge. It's about also about um, software. We provide software, we develop application, and we have a couple of SaaS already running. I'm in the field more than 20 years, and most of those time is just work with Java technologies.
Oh, I think he had another problem with Wave. We
Oh my
had a
God.
DNS problem.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Okay.
Oh, he come back.
Yeah. Sorry about that, Hector.
Oh,
Okay.
Luis, don't push the plug, man. Don't push the plug. I'm
I'll
just
try.
kidding.
Okay. I think the Zoom is okay, right? Still. Okay. So yeah, most of the time is working with Java technologies, databases. Active. I'm still active in Java Dominicano, but not as a lead. Also, I was one of the first contributors to Quarkus framework and also Division and Eclipse Vertex library. I was a teacher, Linux teacher for almost 4 years. So I have some knowledge on that as well. What will be covered? We'll be covering the depth of the pooling. You know, when you have a database and you need to pull information, to get information on real time, you need to keep asking the database, and that is a resource consuming strategy. And that's why we'll be talking about this, right? Change database structure. Basically, we'll be listening to that and not just pulling the database. Division for Java Dev. Um, Good thing is division is application that was created on Java and also Quarkus. So you will feel comfortable working with this technology. As I mentioned, Division was created on Quarkus reactive stack, and Quarkus under the hook is using Vertex, that is the reactive library, to create reactive application and faster application on the Java ecosystem. Will be as we'll be listening to Division events. So that's the main idea of the whole structure how division works. And then we'll be having a demo that I hope works. I got a couple of issues trying to get out working today, but let's see. We'll be doing that on live. So let's talk about the difference between reacting versus pulling, right? As I mentioned before, I know that that's the easiest way. It does the first things that come to our mind when we want to get information, um, in real life. We say, okay, let's create a cron. Let's create a cron function on Java, on Spring, a schedule, and let's try to get that information every 5 seconds, every, I don't know, any times that we decide that we say, okay, that will be pretty fast, but we are not loading the database. So we are trying to find a way to say to get information fast to react on that data, but also we want to not load the database a lot. So you keep like a fighting between those two things, and that's why reacting to this change is the best way to get that introduced or integrate into your application. So, okay. So your business logic depends on the data change. Why wait for a timer to check that? And if that happens, right? If anything happens, you need to know right away. So looks to this, we say, okay, give me the data that is updated down the last check. That's the common way that we are doing stuff nowadays. And division comes to save us from that. The CDC, the better way, we'll be having insert, update, and delete, and we'll be receiving those events. Those events you will see that will be annotated, will be coming in some format that is useful to consume and to react on that. Division is a Java native engine implementation. Quarkus, you can get the library integrating Quarkus in any other framework as well, and it's to process information, right? Let's look to this screen. The reactive pipeline. I said two ways to do it, but let me explain why. Right here in distributed high availability, we have Postgres database. That's this, and this could be any database that division support. We can go through the databases that division support later um, in the web page. But basically, we will have the database, and division will be in the middle. It will be listening to those events in a stream way, and we'll be pushing those events to Kafka. And then you can have your application or applications consumer reacting to those events. So this is the high availability strategy. And then we have the embedded, and the demo that I have is in this way because I want to show the benefits of division, and then we can decide, okay, we want to do it in this way or the other way. In the better way, we'll be having Postgres, the database, and we'll be having the application that will be using the division engine as a library. And next to that, or close to that, we'll be having the business logic. In this case, the demo that we'll be having. When you use embedded division, it's basically this configuration that we need to have. There are more other properties, but I just exclude that to not show like a verbose configuration example. But basically, we said this is the configuration, this will be the connector, the table, the database, and everything. And then we inject that configuration into our engine, and we start receiving those events. So here you will be having a Lambda function, and you react to those events. Okay. Why division? Why division? I think you know the why. We are not pulling the database. We just keep reacting. But also we have other benefits. So Division is built on top of Kafka connector. That is a powerful framework and proof. That's something that is used on big companies to process high amount of data. And it is also pure Java implementation. Data consistency, user application slot to ensure at least once delivery. That is when we are working with Kafka, right? Never miss a change. So you receive the division receive the change from the database and push that information to Kafka, and then we'll be gaining all the benefits that Kafka offer. Snapshotting, basically division, at least for Postgres, is using the wall. This is the right ahead of logs. And if you don't know, basically when Postgres is writing into the database, the first things that Postgres does is basically writing into a log file before writing that to the database. So everything happens first on the log level, and then the database is starting. That is a methodology that Postgres use to make sure the data is safe. If something happens, can read the wall file and recover. Division is extensible. You support many databases, and the most common are Postgres, SQL, MySQL, SQL Server, MongoDB, Oracle, and many others. So we can, as I mentioned, we can go to the web page and look for that whole list. Schema logic, handles the schema change, DDL, and keep track of the structure of the data convention. And also it's fast, it's low latency, zero pooling. You are not killing your database. You are saving resources with Division.
Hey Hector, sorry
Yes.
to interrupt you again. could you increase the size of the font again, please? It's so tiny. Oh,
Nice
it's
to
amazing. I
big.
know. Yeah, it could be broken a little bit your layout, but it's so hard to see that. I don't know if my age is the problem, but
I don't think it's your age. It's the size.
okay,
Okay.
great. Go ahead, man. Sorry.
It's okay. It's good like that or bigger, right there. Okay,
I think it's good now.
Okay,
I think it's good.
cool. So the development, as I mentioned, Quarkus. Quarkus is the framework used for division, and I said, no, let me keep using Quarkus. And also, Flossy was created using Quarkus. Quarkus is my favorite framework because it's cloud native. It's smaller and fast, and also you can build that on binary with GraalVM easily. So our demo, and also the Quarkus, you can just run like this. If you want to try to contribute to Division, this basically adapt to the same source code. But in our demo, this is the things that we'll be doing. We'll be having the demo will be streaming information that is happening, and we'll be doing like a fraud alert detection. So basically, when we do a transaction into your application, the system or the Quarkus connector that we'll be having will be listening to those events in the table and will be detecting if we have a fraud or not. Use cases for CDC. You can create real-time dashboard that you can grab the information and show that into a dashboard in your company, in your web application, and many others. Our demo, for example, would be focused on fraud detection. That is just some of the use cases Another one is cache invalidation. I think this is most of the pain points us as a developer of the software. Sometimes we have a data and we need to keep that data for few seconds, a minutes. So we keep fighting with time. And with division, we say, okay, store that in the cache for forever. But when something happens in the database, the events will be invalidating that. So you keep like a loop between your cache, your database, and division, synchronizing those two things. Also, division is useful when we are working with microservices and you rely from a main database that keep changing, and you need to keep like individual databases, but just a couple of sections of the data, not the whole database. So division also, you can use division to solve that problem, that kind of issues. Let's go into this, the live demo, reactive route guard. And as I mentioned, we'll be having Postgres SQL. It would be division would be pulling those events. This error that you see here right here is not correct. I mean, division would be listening to that, right? And then we'll be having the stream, the processing and detection, if that is a fraud or not. And then we'll be having the data pushed to the application. So the scenario is the next. We have a bank and we'll be doing transaction, and we need to monitor those transactions to detect if we have fraud. So the fraud are detected in the same way. In this way, we detect if there is a high amount of money that was transferred, and we'll be labeling that as an anomaly because it's a high amount. Also, impossible travel. If you do a transaction or a transfer in Tokyo, and then few minutes later you do a transaction in Texas, so we say no, this is impossible. Let's detect that as a fraud. We can have also combine of those two. You have a high amount in different location, and that's something that could happen. We'll be having a live dashboard updates, and I will try to make that accessible so you can go inside and look into the event as well. Let me try to go. Okay. Okay, this is the demo. It's running locally, but let me try to make that accessible for you. And I will share the link. Just give me a second. Channel X. Okay, Max, I will share the link into the chat. And
yeah, you can send on the private chat. Not wrong. You can do this.
private chat. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So just validate that is working first.
Sure.
So
yeah,
this is working.
it's working. I can share on the chat. Okay.
Yeah, but let's do it after I do the first demo, and then we can users can test by themselves. Okay. So this is the dashboard. We have a couple of things, couple information right here. We have the random person created right here. We have couple of person already set up. So I will simulate a transfer. Let me choose Maria. I will do 5,000 and send a transfer. Let me check what's going on.
I love that Hector said that Quarkus is his favorite framework right now because Quarkus is getting a lot of new followers right now.
Yeah, it's growing. It's growing.
Yeah, I think Quarkus changed a little bit about how can we create microservices, because before Quarkus we need to care about warm up start time, but without this process with ahead of time compilation, it, it's an amazing way to create, start, and use microservices on the cloud native way. So it's amazing as well.
Yeah, yes. Quarkus was designed with that in mind, to be fast, to be cloud native, to be inside, to be running inside containers. So it should be quite quick and fast and that kind of stuff. Let me try one more time. I will
Sure.
choose this. I'm not able to see the logs. It says transfer, blah, blah, blah. But it's not showing the information here.
But it is only when you have the fraud.
Oh, you're right. Let me do a big transfer. I was doing.
If you do the same person transfer in different city, maybe it will. Oh, it's showing there the alert. Yeah.
Right
Good.
here, right here. Thank you.
Cool.
Okay, so I got impossible travel alerts right here, and this is the person that do the transfer. I simulate like a couple of, as you mentioned, Max, couple of transaction transfer with the same person with different city, and we say here we have impossible travel from New York to Miami just in 3 seconds. That's impossible, right? Um, that is 1,758 kilometers in 3 seconds. That's crazy. So yeah, we can now share the link, and let's have some fun with the person trying to do transfer simultaneously, and let's see how that goes. And then we can jump into the code, we can review that, and at the end, I will take few minutes to get the demo uploaded. Luis, I haven't pushed that code. Yeah, we can share that information.
Okay. So let's flood the application now.
That's my local computer.
Let's go, guys.
Okay, so okay.
Okay,
Oh.
we have a high amount.
Yeah.
That was mine.
James Johnson.
Yeah, James Johnson. Let me send to Karen from New York. Let's see how you generate. I will send an annual salary to her. Let me see. Whoa.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Hey, Karen, remember me? Send me a piece of this.
Send me that back.
I love it. That's amazing. I don't know, guys, if you in the chat, I think that you can test it as well. Am I right? So we send in the chat the link. So don't
I just sent it again.
don't crash the Hector's application, please. But
I I I need some translation in this message. Quarkus Reina.
yeah.
Quarkus
Actually,
Queen
Oh,
Quarkus Quarkus Queen and
for
nothing.
Spring Nothing.
Yeah, it's another work junk. But well, we cannot subestimate Spring.
no, no.
Spring
I,
was
I I I use Spring a lot. Couple application. Um, but when you use both, you can say this is best for this and this is best.
yeah
So you have tools, right?
yeah
That's everything. They are tools that you use it. I got an error. I got an
Yeah,
error right here. It says like what's a too big number? I don't know
it was
what's the
mine.
value.
Sorry.
it's a fraud. It's a fraud, man.
that's a
uh,
that's a validation that we'll be doing before pushing the code.
yeah
There's
yeah
not enough money in the world.
yeah. Um,
Excellent. I'm
Okay.
curious here, Hector. And I see. So the order is maintained, right? It keeps the order of the bands.
Hmm.
And how about when we do some cyclic issue? Like, oh, I reacted, and the action I put, it just changed the same table, and then it will be looping in it. There's some way to discover it with division, some support for that.
Division support the order for sure. So if you keep consuming those events in a single thread, right? You
Ah,
can keep the order. Now, if you distribute those changes with different consumer, that's something that you need to.
makes sense.
I will say that you can combine that with a locking.
Mhm.
Let's say, for example, you got you got two transactions in the same account, and you put those events in different consumer. Before applying any change to the account, you need to say, okay, let me lock the account, let me write or modify anything that I need to do, and then release the account. So the other consumer said, oh, I got a notification, the account changed, but the account is locked. Let me wait. So that's locking distribution strategy.
Cool.
I have another question, Hector. Something comes to my mind right now. It's about caching strategies. And
Hmm.
I see that using this kind of solution, we will be able to apply any kind of caching
Evision.
strategies. Am I right? So
Hmm.
you can have, for example, you can use a write-through strategy that you can write in both places. We write in a database notify the cache, and the cache will be updated, and the application consumes the cache because it's more faster
That's
than. So, do you think that it's something profitable to pay attention, or it's something that we need to be careful? Because I know that event process bring another more challenges. For example, with dependence process and
mhm.
so on. But what do you think about that? Do you think that it's a good way? It's the time to think about this kind of strategy, cache strategies.
Hmm. Yeah, and this is one of the use cases, a cache invalidation or evasion. But basically, you can use for the opposite. You say, okay, when the data comes, put that into the cache. So basically, we'll be doing the invalidation because the all data when the events come, you will be overriding that, and that's a good strategy.
Oh, great, amazing. So, someone in the chat saying uh, the best part of the Spring is moving to Quarkus. I'm just kidding. Mateus is a funny guy. Okay, go back. Let's go back to your presentation. Sorry. Take it away.
Cool. Yeah. There are any other question before we move to the code?
Not
Not
right
at all
now.
for now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Go ahead, please.
cool. Okay, this is the code. You'll see that we are still receiving events right here. Impossible travel. This is Dubai. Blah 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 blah. So this is just the logs. But let's take a look to the project structure. The first thing that we have is a database.
I think it would be good to zoom also the code. Yeah. Thank you, man.
Yeah, better.
Yeah, much better. Thanks.
Cool. So I'm using Postgres 17, and also using Docker to make that easy to spin up. So Postgres 17, and we have a couple of configuration. And basically, as I mentioned, division is not reading the database per se. It's reading a section that is named while in Postgres. That's the write ahead of logs. And we need to modify Postgres. That's the only things that we need to do in Postgres database. We don't need to install new extension because this is a technology that already Postgres use to do replication with many Postgres instances. That's the way that they do replication. So we are using the same technology, the same strategy to tell division read a logic wall.
I
So
think yeah, this answers Eduardo without question here on the chat. He said, "Good afternoon, you all. Hector, thanks for the great presentation. How does Debezium listen to those DB logging activities?" So this is the way he does.
Yeah, this is the answer. Yes, that's correct. And basically, we need to tell Postgres to write the log, and Postgres have different strategy. But this is the one that we need to make division happy and understand those changes. This is the some configuration of the consumer, the consumer of the wall, and this is just to the workers that division has. So if we say division use for reader, we need to increase that right here as well. That depends of the amount of data that you are managing and everything in your database. But there are good documentation around those numbers, how to set those values. This is just health check on the database to make sure it's ready. Let's go into the code. As I mentioned, everything is division is Quarkus. I'm using Quarkus right here. Quarkus 3.15. I think the final or the latest version is 3.34. I said this one because I got a couple of issues with the Quarkus library and everything, but that's okay. So we have the fraud. I think this you won't see very well this later, but basically I will try to open and make that bigger. We have the alerts, record data, and we have the type, transfer, the details, the distance between the two transactions, and we have the detector. This will be doing the whole logic about when we receive the event. This is the event coming from division, and you can have many serialization in division, but we are using JSON. We decode that JSON that is coming from division, and we have the payload. The payload contains our operation. Operation is C. In this case, I don't know if you can read this. C is for create. Everything that comes here that is different than create, we just ignore. We want to read transaction when they are created, not when they are updated or when they are deleted. We want just to when they are created. And this is the format coming from division. So OP would be C, the creation, and then we got the after. We have two properties in the payload, that one is after and one is before. Before is when the data, in the way that data was before, and after is when the data was modified. Well, what changed? Is you have like a snapshot in the actual value. But on creation, on C operation, we don't have before because we are getting a new record. But if this is the update, you will have both properties. You will be having after and you will be having before. We just do some validation, making sure the after is there. We convert that after into a transfer information, and we do the whole check. We have two rules as we mentioned. We have the amount rule and we have the travel rule. If we do the travel from one city to another pretty quick, long distance, we mark that as a fraud alert. And then we put that into the mapping, and this would be triggering the alerts in this as events. That's like a WebSocket event to the front end application. So that's the fraud detection, and this is the most important part. This is the division engine. We initialize JSON. We say, oh, we want to receive JSON events. Also, division offer Avro. We build the configuration. Let's take a look to that. And then as soon as you said build and submit, the engine right here start receiving events in this method, notifying. This is asynchronously. And when we receive those events, we call it the fraud detector. That's the one that I show you, that will be basically receiving the JSON. And that's the only things that we need to get Quarkus set up in division. We got a couple of configuration for Quarkus and division. Well, this is division. We need to set the connector that we'll be using. As we mentioned before, we have different connector. We support many databases. So that's something that you need to set. Let's talk about this configuration that we have right here. This is a file that is defined at the initialization. And this is just like a memory for division to keep track where it started, what was the last record, and from where to start reading into the wall file from Postgres. So basically, let's suppose you have division or your application running, and for some reason the application stopped, but your bank doesn't stop. The bank keeps working. People keep transferring money. People keep drawing money. So your Quarkus stopped. That's okay. But when you start the application again, this will tell Quarkus, hey, this was the location that we left. Let's continue. And then Quarkus will be reading all those transactions, let's say 1 hour, 2 hour, 1 day back happen. Quarkus and division in this case will be reading those information from that point and would be processing those events. So division doesn't lose any events. It will be catching up.
Just to see if I get it. So, but this is when we do set up the Postgres with division, it does keep something in the Postgres side that keeps getting the events and storing this file. So when the Quarkus goes up again, it will just check this file if for the event that might be lost while it was down.
Yes, division will be reading that information with the data that is already here,
Okay.
and we'll say, hey, this is the location that I left. I want to
Ah,
continue processing events.
okay, 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 cool.
Hmm. And then when division sync get up to date, and then you start receiving the new events.
I got another question about
Hmm.
that as well. So this configuration is about the local configuration on a Quarkus side. Am I right? It's something that keep the memory of the last event that was processed. And
That's that's correct.
am I right? Okay. So, but when we have a lot of instances of Quarkus, how can we control that thing? Well, for example, you mentioned that the Debian do a kind of synchronization, trying to figure out this kind of processing, but the instance will look for the next events, just following the source of truth, this source of truth, this file as a source of truth, or it will avoid to keep in processing something different. So it's you. I don't know if you got my point,
Yeah,
but
I got it.
but
So,
go ahead,
mhm.
please.
So yeah, I understand your question. And if we come to this presentation, um, in this diagram, you see,
Great.
basically that's the same for high distribution or high availability and simple embedded. You can well you can do it. You can have many applications listening to the wall events, but the recommendation is that you keep a single instance because Quarkus is pretty fast and it's not writing data, it's just streaming information. So you need to
Okay.
keep a single instance. For example, in this case, we have division that will be connected doing Kafka Connect, and then we'll be pushing that to Kafka. Mm, I
Yeah.
haven't seen a scenario where we have a couple of division connected to send database and sending that. One instance is enough. And as this is doing streaming events, we push that to Kafka. And then Kafka is the one that will be having many consumers.
Yeah. Yeah. I got it.
Yeah. In this scenario, this is the one that we are doing. This is the demo that we are doing. We are using embedded. In the same, we need a single application listening to Postgres or any database change. And that's the one that will be responsible. And that's the one that need to keep the memory, the
Got it.
location, and the position of the last process wall events.
I got. Thank you for the answer. I I I got it. So I will try to to do the thing in my studies. Thanks again.
Yeah, thank you. So we have the database configuration to connect to the database. Um, Something interesting is when you are connected to the database with division, you need to decide what you want to hear from the database. That means you need to say, I want to listen from this table. Because if you have a huge database with many tables and you just want to listen one table, division offer that things to you. You say, okay, this is the list table that we want to listen from. In this case, transfer. I don't want to see user registration. I don't want to see anything. This is just a fraud detection, and we want to hear about transfer, and that's it. So you, in this case, you say to division, what's the tables that you want to listen events from? Um, the snapshot for this demo, I just turn it off. The snapshot is the when I start the application and we don't have the and this file doesn't exist. Um, those file doesn't exist. Basically, it would be reading the whole wall history if we have a 2 years of events and those will exist on Postgres, division will be reading all of them. So you can say from a start or never, and that will be reading whole database history. There are many other information. Those configuration you can go directly to division configuration or documentation. Around the simulator, we have we have another. I didn't show that up, but basically I can say start simulating, and then we'll be having the system internally doing the same that you're doing manually, but the system is doing that randomly. And I can stop that. That's the simulator. And then we have the SSE. This is the server side events. I think that's the meaning. And basically, when we receive those events, we'll be pushing those events to the front end application from here. We have some utils, modeling resources. We are using Quarkus, and this is the configuration that we have. I know what was wrong with that. And we have the migration table. We have the persons. We have the transfer table. And one interesting one is the configuration. I think I keep that right here. Prioritize public sequence. Yeah, this one. So when we need to create a slot, that's the name. That's another change that we need to do in the database, but this is native in Postgres. We need to enable the publication for this slot. And that is one of the things that we have on the CDC slot. Because it's basically when we want to connect to all, we need to say, hey, this is the location that where you will be writing the events, and we need to specify to division to read from that slot. So this is basically the whole application, the whole demo. I will push this, as I mentioned, so you can play around with that. And yeah, I hope that you get this useful, that you get division set up in your application and stop reading from the database frequently with the cron. If you are doing that, stop doing that and use CDC. Let's come back to you, Max. Let's see if we have a couple of questions. I don't know if you have a list of questions. Let's try to respond that.
That's great. I don't know, Luis. Do you want to bring something or question? Hugo, feel free to do that as well. I saw that someone on the chat did some question, but the question is about configuration and properties. But I think that you have been showed right now, so I don't know if it's needed to cover again. But what do you have some questions? Everyone on the chat, feel free to ask.
I just want to congratulate and thank you so much, Hector, for sharing with us. Just this week, I had some issue regarding having so much connections to the database. So I will take a look into it, and maybe I'll definitely start using this the same thing that you did here. Maybe this is the thing that I was trying to find to solve my problem. So thank you so much.
Welcome.
Yep, I really enjoyed the example and the vision, the solution. It sounds really cool project. I would like to try it out as well. Um, I, I think for some use case, you said that you use the embedded version for
Hmm.
the demo side, and for distributed one, we do use usually. I see that there's plugin for Kafka, but it's only Kafka that it supports, or I can do use any some other kind of communications.
Yeah, that's a good
Okay.
question. That's a good question, and I mentioned that I will show this, but I just forgot. Um, let's go first to get your question responded. We have many integration embedded, and I think I don't find that right here, but what is the this is the server. Yeah, this is the server. Division server is also natively compiled with the GraalVM, so you don't need to do the JVM stuff. And I think I got the question responded from here, your question. So when you run division service server directly, you gain a lot of things. The first is you can use Amazon Kinesis, you can do Google Cloud Pub Sub, Apache Pulsar. This is one of the most famous one. You can also grab information from division and push that to Redis stream or Nats stream. Um, but this was the first one. This is the Apache Kafka was the like the genesis when division was created. That was the only connector with Apache with Kafka Connect. But you can use any of those. If you want to stream to another um, application that is not listed right here, that's easy to do it. You just grab the division engine, you create a connector, and you build that as a division server and push it.
I see. That's great. Thanks for the answer.
That was my second question is about how to expand, how to extend this kind of functionality. Because, for example, I know that let me bring a case. Okay, I use a case right here.
Hmm.
For example, we see many people using DynamoDB to store those things on the cloud on the AWS side, and then we know that DynamoDB has a DynamoDB streams that you
Stream.
can do
Hmm.
something similar with that. But for example, as I'm have been contributing with JNoSQL, Jakarta NoSQL that intends to handle many kind of NoSQL databases. So maybe it's interesting to extend the Bayesian functionality to get those information from the NoSQL database and bring back to the Java side. So that's the question that I'd like to do is it is something easy to do, or it's something that is something profitable to pay attention, maybe to contribute to the vision to get those kind of connectivity. What do you think about that?
I didn't get the last part. Do you want to get division connected with um, Dynamo, or what's
Yeah,
the
for
scenario?
example, for Dynamo, I know that we can use maybe some kind of property from AWS as well. But for example, well, I got you show me a SQL database, Postgres, all right? But
Uh-huh.
for example, I got Cosmos DB, for example, from Azure. I can do the same thing, and how hard it is to do this thing with Bayesian server is something easy, or it's something that it is profitable to pay attention, maybe to extend it, to contribute to the vision to create some connector like that. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you now. Basically, connector depends 100% on the server. Example, division per se is just using that technology. The ones that I mentioned, while right ahead of logs, that's something that exists on internally on Postgres, and division use it. For MySQL, they use something named beanlog, and division just translate that and grab that information from there. And the same for MariaDB. I don't remember what's the way that Mongo does that division translate that to events or to history. So it's not just an implementation on division. We need to look into the database that you're trying to connect if that have something that keep the history of the events.
Okay. In the end of the day, it's also depends of the database infrastructure if it provides a kind of CDC capturing. Am I right? So without that, we cannot do so much thing. Am I right?
Yeah, I won't call CDC directly into the database. They just call that as a logging in the
Okay,
way that
great.
they do the logs. Yeah.
Okay, great. So, we got a question in the chat. Is it possible to do it with Microsoft SQL Server? I think so. I don't
Right
know.
here. Right here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, guys. That's it. So, I have no questions by now. So, as Luis said and Hugo said, congratulations! It was amazing presentation to bring this kind of functionality, and it's a new tool that we can put in our belt when we need. We can figure out that thing. I think when we got more expertise, we got more experience. We need to understand what tool we need to use to a specific case. So I think this kind of utilization is amazing because I see many people trying to do those things or maybe re-implement the wheel again.
Hmm.
And we know that we can use this kind of amazing project that got a lot of usage, users, and the popularity. Am I right? So that's it.
Yes.
Uh, let me let me give the point to Luis. Luis, want to say something and go ahead, take it away.
Yeah, I just want again to thank Hector for his time, for his amazing presentation, and um I think now is the time to say how can people reach out to you if they have any question, if they want to learn more, or maybe talk about Flow-C, not only talk about this presentation. What are
Yeah.
your main social medias?
My main social media is LinkedIn or Twitter. But also in the Flossy community, you can join right there. It's possible to open another tab. If you go to GitHub, Flossy, Flossy um, repo, you will be having a link right here, Slack channel. If you have a Slack, you can join there and we can talk about flossing or any other topics. That's another way to contact me.
Yeah, let's arrange a new conversation to talk about Flossy. I think it will be useful for any developers that needs to simulate or running locally AWS services. So I think it will be amazing as well.
Yep.
Great. Hugo, you want to say something?
So, yeah, I'm looking forward for Flossy as well. But I'm very happy to get to know Division. I heard before, but never saw a getting started example. So yeah, that was amazing to see and seeing the demo running on the live. That was amazing. Sharing with people openly. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing that I'd like to ask you, Hector. If you want to share material, for example, your presentation, the slides. So feel free so we can share with the community.
Yeah.
It's something that I'd like to explore more in details. Maybe we can touch later more to talk about more about that. And again, making the Luis words and the Hugo words my words as well. Thanks again to be here presenting and share your knowledge and to help the community, especially Brazil community, to raise the rules. So thanks again.
Thank you for inviting me. And yeah, anything that you need, any other presentation, let me know, and I will be happy to do it.
That's nice. Thank you so
That's
much.
nice. That's good. That's it. We did it again. Yeah.
And thank you all that stay with
See you
us till
soon.
the end. Thank you so much for being here.
Okay.
See you in the next live.
Okay. Bye bye. Oh, let me put the sound effects as well. Oh, yeah. Oh, this one. Yeah. Thanks so much. See you next time, guys. Bye. Eu não sei, eu acho que o sistema travou, gente.